Welcome back, my friends. It seems our quick little visit to this castle was unwelcome. Archers and guardsmen swarmed us at the front gates. Yours truly got his chance to put his skills to the test, albeit I did leave with a few scrapes and cuts. Kai demonstrated some unorthodox fighting I've never seen before. It was chaotic, yet controlled. Not to mention the sheer savagery Reese showed off, stabbing and cutting through the guards with ease. I would hate to get on his bad side. And Felix, well, we should probably talk to him about his pyro incident. With all that had happened, it appeared that we knocked out their leader. Hopefully we'll be able to get some answers about what's been going on here.
Where we last left off, you were standing in a courtyard, the swirling sky a mosaic of purples and grays high above you. In this strange dimension, you're not quite sure where you are or when you are, but here you are. The ruins of a tall castle keep towering ahead of you. The walls of it, you've reached the inner gate, and there's several bodies on the ground. Unconscious, dead. Up on the ramparts, two figures are slowly kneeling with their hands behind their heads. As the combat quiets down around you, what would you like to do?
I guess Kai and Reese are standing in front of this unconscious body, and you're gonna see kind of like his rage and shifting kind of in, and you see for a brief like moment this look of concern and panic wash over his face before he kind of stows himself, looks around and looks at you. Kai goes, What happened?"
Do you not remember?
It was no, yeah, it was, just happened so fast. I don't.
You you go sit down over there. She's unconscious, right?
Yes, she is.
Okay. You go sit over there. I'm gonna tie her up so that she doesn't leave. Um Everybody else okay? Felix, Treos?
Uh, Treos?
Treos, looking pretty exhausted, faintly gives a thumbs up. He's okay.
Okay.
Felix, for the first time in the entire time you know him, is not saying anything at the moment.
Okay, we'll unpack that later. Okay. I'm going to kind of like guide Reese over to like a wall where he can just like sit down with his back up against it, and I'm also just gonna drag the body over there, prop her up as well, and then like tie her hands behind her back.
Yeah, you can easily take Reese over to one of the walls. It's a little harder to drag this heavily armored body over to the wall, and her armor scrapes with a ear-piercing screech across the stones, but you eventually kept her up against the wall. You're able to use some of the either rope in your bag or rip off some of the bottom of her tunic and tie up her hands behind her back.
I'm gonna also tie her feet together so she can't run. After that, I'm just gonna look around. I kind of like both like the building that we're in, and just try and figure out like if there's like places that we can go into inside, or if it's just like an outside structure, and also if it's not too much to investigate in one go, like also like the realm that we're in, because it's definitely not the material plane, right?
It's definitely not the material plane. All you really see, you remember you came down and teleported in the center of this long bridge that seemed to be floating in the middle of nowhere. You couldn't see anything on the other end, but what you did see was this giant floating keep in front of you that seemed to be on a large stone, just hanging suspended in the middle of this dimension. You're out of combat, so you can take as long as you want to investigate this little courtyard area. You see in the center there's a what looks to be a dried up fountain structure, and the walls of the ramparts only come around about a half moon, and they both end at two large towers, which then converge into a much larger building. So there are front steps leading right up. You recall that the mercenary leader, who is now unconscious and tied up, she came on these steps at the beginning of the combat. And so you do see two large double doors thrown open, and it's relatively almost eerily quiet, other than the soft scrape of the two alive, awake, and surrendered archers on the ramparts.
Felix is headed back towards the bridge.
All right, up onto the bridge or underneath?
No, the bridge that we went.
Oh, the bridge you came in. Yes.
Yeah, he's heading to the body that is currently acidized and burnt to a crisp.
Yeah. He doesn't have to go far. That body's still quite in the center, just under the main gate. And you see it's still a little tendril of smoke curls up from its body as it still sizzles from the acid.
Okay, he's you're gonna see, especially Treos, I imagine sees this as he's the closest. He's rummaging through his bag, nothing. You get down and you can just hear him humming a tone, and as he is kneeling over the body.
I just faintly hear the humming that's coming around behind. I just want to look over and just walk over to Felix to kind of just check on him, make sure he's okay.
As you get as you get closer, you hear staying alive, staying alive. As he is rapidly doing compressions on the burnt acidized corpse's chest.
At first I was afraid. I was petrified.
No, not that part.
Freos, you walk up as you hear slightly under Felix's breath, staying alive, with a little panicked tone to it as he does chest compressions on this blackened, burnt corpse. So blackened and burnt to the point it's not quite even recognizable as a body anymore. But Felix is there doing chest compressions on him.
Just put one hand on Felix's shoulder, just like, Felix,
the healing potion I gave you. Do you have any more drops in it? I could maybe I could use that.
Yeah, I might have a few drops, but I think I gave it to Reese or Kai earlier. Let's go back with them real quick, okay?
Okay. But we need to take care of this guy. I think he might be hurt.
He's looked better, but he might be in a different part of the he might be in a different part of the place right now. We'll probably see him again later. Come on.
Are you sure? Okay. I can fix it, right? I didn't mean to. I slipped, and I thought it was a healing potion. I was trying to take care of you guys, but
Felix, calm down. We just you're usually at a 10. Right now you're at like a 12. We just need you to calm down right there. We're all on high alert right now. But let's just calm down, okay?
And the fire and
yeah.
Oh my God, is that woman okay? And I'm gonna start heading over towards the group.
At this point, you hear a slight rustling, and then you hear like murmured whispers and an anger, and then what you hear just a little voice go, what do you want? What do you want us to do? As you see two little heads of the surrendered archers peek up over the ramparts. They've still laid down their weapons. They're not picking anything up, but they are watching.
Okay, y'all just leave your weapons up there, and just come down here. Just so we know where you are.
You hear some more murmured whispering, and then you hear the footsteps as they make their way down the little steps from the ramparts into the courtyard. They're keeping their armor on, but they look bloodied and beaten, and they eye you, Kai and Reese, as you're propped up right next to their evident leader, tied up. But they stop a little ways away at the bottom of the stairs.
I'm gonna go. Don't worry, she's not dead, just unconscious. What are y'all's names?
Well, I'm Akka. And this is, don't tell him anything. This is Hutch. This
Okay,
one
Akka.
from the one on the right.
Akka and Hutch. All right. Good to meet you. Name's Kai. This is Reese. Over there is Treos and Felix. Sorry that we killed people. We don't know where we are. We literally just wound up here. And so we don't want to. It's a little too late, but we don't want to come up on a bad note. We are just confused and lost, and just I don't know how else to explain this. I'm lost. Y'all just how long y'all been here?
I'm gonna have you make a persuasion check, because you did just kill some of their team, knock their leader unconscious, and now you're trying to get off on a right note.
In our case, it was self-defense.
Attack first.
That's not good. That's a 5.
Yeah, you, as you say this, the one on the right who'd been talking, so, Akka, goes to like shift and speak, but Hutch just digs an elbow into their ribcage, and they both shut up.
Has Felix and Treos made it here yet?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You two weren't very far.
Cool. Guys, do you have a doctor or someone who knows medicine? Because we have to take care. They're hurt back there, and we have to take care of them as soon as possible.
They both look back at the blackened corpse.
A Band-Aid or some like medicine or a potion. I'm out, but maybe you guys have some potions, or maybe there's someone inside the building that could do a little bit of healing. We gotta get this guy could be in trouble, and we gotta help him out.
Akka shifts. Mabe was our doctor.
Okay, great. Let's go get them.
They look back at the blackened corpse.
Yes, I know that's who we have to go save. We have to go get the doctor.
At some point, you kind of see something click, and they just turn back to you, Kai, and go, "Is he for real?"
Like I said, we are lost. He's a kid. We did not. I don't know how we wound up here. He does not need to be seeing all of this.
To be fair, neither did we.
Y'all attacked first. We told you that we had no idea where we were and that we were lost. There's a million different ways we can justify this back and forth to each other. What matters is that right now, all of us are alive, and we want to keep it that way. So I just suggest we bury the hatchet, figure out how to move forward, learn from our mistakes. Okay, hang on. I don't.
What are you gonna do?
Reese, are you feeling better? Reese, are you feeling better?
Yeah.
Okay. You can chime in whenever you want. Okay.
Look, we really just need 2 questions answered. And then we'll leave. Well, 3. Hold on. Sorry. 3 questions. Where are we? How do we get out? And we're looking for a specific person, like a kid. Savva, not this kid, a different kid. Have you seen another kid running around here?
I'm gonna have you make a persuasion check.
Oh, brother.
Come on, Reese, please.
This is we'll see how this goes. Persuasion, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay. 19.
All right. As you ask these questions, when you finish speaking, the one who's been talking sighs and takes off their helmet, and you see a tall, looks to be half elvish figure, with long, actually purple hair and a deep slashing scar down their face, and they just sigh and step a little forward away from Hutch, who tries to pull them back. Look, to be entirely honest, I don't know where we are either. We just come here for a job. We follow her orders, and they jab their chin over at the leader abandoned on the ground. I don't know how to get out either. We just all sort of gather around, and then the magic-y one chants something, and then we all just reappear somewhere, and the girl's in there.
Kai is going to not like run inside, but like start walking with a good pace.
Wait, but you're gonna take us with you when you go back, right? Because I don't really want to. We don't really want to be stuck here.
Yeah, we'll take you back.
You guys have good berries that I could use. I could crush them up real good. I have a mortal pestle in my. I have it in my bottle, and I could use that. Then I could whip up a quick healing potion, and that shouldn't take too long. And they could be okay then, right?
Akka just sighs and goes over to where you're presumably crouched by the mercenary leader.
Yeah, I guess. I was talking about the blackened corpse, though, when I'm talking about the healing.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
But they're just gonna sort of crouch down over her body and just slap her across the face. Zaire, wake up! And you just hear as she sort of kind of comes to life, but is still pretty unconscious.
Is she good at healing?
You're walking. Oh, yeah.
Is she good at healing? Is that why we're waking her up?
Akka puts their hand on your shoulder. Kid, I don't know how many battles you've seen, but clearly not many. You're not going to be able to do anything for me about there.
Well, but I could if I just get the right ingredients, and then I could help out. But I just don't have any potions right now. I'm all out. I had some, but then I threw them, and I accidentally dropped some of them, and I thought they were healing potions, but it turned out they were not healing potions. They looked totally different. But I was panicking, and you guys had weapons. But you should actually. You should know that it's kind of mean to point weapons at people, because that could come off as aggressive, and you really don't want to hurt anyone, right?
I'm going to grab Felix, not like angrily, but just like put my hand on his shoulder and be like, "Come on, let's go see what we can do," and like pull him away from this conversation.
Well, you see, I've switched who the language is being directed at. If I can just get a few ingredients together, then I should be able to get something together pretty quickly.
I don't know what they have. How about let's go look in the keep, and let's go with Kai, or and see what they have in there. And
Uh,
I assume
no,
Kai's already.
Y'all stay out there so you can keep an eye on them.
You see Hutch just goes, and
they
Eka
can come.
just nods and lifts a thumb.
They
and
could
sits
come
down
with us if they
next
want,
to
because they probably
Claire.
know the place better, right? Than we do.
Yeah,
Hutch,
but
come with-
I'm just gonna see if this is like an elaborate another section that we gotta navigate through. If then I'll come back for y'all, or if it's just like a wide open room, I'm just gonna grab the kid and come back.
We could just knock on the door and ask them to let us in.
I think the doors are open, aren't they?
The door is open, Felix.
Well, but it would be rude to just enter without their permission.
Yeah, but we've already killed their friends, and so I don't think formalities matter too
Well-
much at this point.
Well, they're not dead yet. Okay. We can fix that.
Felix, we're gonna unpack this later. We're gonna have a little session tonight. We're just gonna sit and talk about everything, talk about our feelings. Because look, I'm be honest, you've never been in this situation before. Reese just kind of blacked out. I don't know what's up with that. We gotta unpack that. Treos has been silent this entire time. I don't know what's going on, guys. I'm the only one who has my shit together. Okay, look, I can't do this right now. Okay, I'm gonna find the kid. I'm gonna bring her back. If I need help, I'll come get y'all. Okay, hang on. Just let me think. Let me think.
I think we need to unpack that later tonight as well.
Kai, my friend,
yeah,
you got a
but-
lot. I think you got just as much as the rest of us.
Oh,
Felix,
I know.
Felix.
And I'm gonna turn to Hutch or Akka. Are we allowed in? That's your house, right?
Do whatever the fuck you want to do. It's not ours.
Okay.
The weird
They said we're
magic
allowed to
liberty
go
thing.
in.
Okay,
Let's go.
are there like crates and stuff in this like area we're in?
It's a relatively empty, other than the couple dead bodies, the fountain in the center, there's some rubble here and there from what clearly is a keep that hasn't been kept up in a couple hundred years. There's not really a lot in the ways of crates or supplies or anything.
Man.
What have y'all been eating this entire time while y'all been here? How long have y'all been here?
Are you
Like,
shouting
dude,
this from the top of the steps?
The guy's in the keep screaming at them.
It's like I'm like in the doorway, like about to go in, but like I have serious FOMO, so I just keep popping my head back out just to ask more questions.
Oh, that's right. Do you guys have
Akka
chicken and
just
potatoes
shuts
and
back.
tomatoes?
Kitchen's in the left. Third door on the left. And then you guys who are closer hear Hutch just be like, "Shut up." But
Okay, I'm actually going inside this time.
yeah, you step inside. You step right into what appears to be a giant entrance hall. You see crumbling steps leading up to a second floor that stop halfway through from where they've collapsed in, and a large pile of stone and rubble on the ground. On your right, there's a pathway leading into what appears to be a large dining area. On the left, you see a couple smaller doors that are closed for now, but don't appear to have any major locks on them. And then right beyond the stairs, it opens up into another courtyard.
Okay, I'm gonna pop my head back out saying, "It's creepy as shit in here. Y'all get in here, please." Akka and Hutch, y'all can come in if y'all want to. I don't know. Y'all live your lives. I like Acha, Hutch, your little sketch.
Think we're good out here, thanks.
Are y'all afraid of anything in here?
I mean,
Do I need to be creeped out?
at this point, because they've been just shouting across the courtyard, Akka just turns back to either you, Treos, or you, Reese, and just goes, "Look, man, we patrolled where we were supposed to. I haven't been through the rest of the house, but I just watched your shit, because this is some magic dude's place."
This is an uncomfortable amount of silence.
I'm gonna put the leader's like the ties around her feet so she can walk, and I'm gonna help her up, and I'm gonna look at everyone that is standing there, which is everyone but Kai, and be like, "All right, come on, we're going." And I'm gonna like move her along and bring everyone with us.
All right, she's groggily getting to her feet, sort of blinking away what the sleep or haze of getting knocked out quite brutally. Her arms are still tied behind her back, but she just groans and turns to Akka. What's going on? And Akka just shakes their head. You see, as you pull this leader towards the doors, you see Hutch is not following.
Oh, I'm gonna walk over to Hutch. You might not have heard, but we're going in there, and I would feel bad if you were out here by yourself, because it's not fun to be alone. And maybe while they're doing what they're doing, you and we could go to the kitchen, or we could go somewhere and we could make some food or something. Or we could go to where the doctor's office is in here, and we could find some stuff. So it's okay to not want to do what everyone's doing, but you shouldn't have to be alone.
Hutch, you can't quite tell what's going through his brain. He still has his helmet on that covers most of his nose and cheeks. But after a brief pause, you just hear and then he turns on his heel and walks out the gate with a salute behind his back.
That's not where...
I just kind of shout out to Hutch, says, don't blame us if you don't get paid for your job, friend. And just grabs onto Felix and kind of pushes him along to start walking inside.
Do you think Mr. Hutch is having a bad day?
I think we're all having a bad day, Felix. Hopefully it'll get better.
Yeah, well, we have to do our best to make it better. And the way I like to do that is well, sometimes you like. Do you read a lot of books?
From time to time.
What's your favorite book?
Something with a bit of mystery. Something that can bring excitement.
Oh, that's cool. I remember reading about there was a group of there were harpies, but they were boys and they were brothers, and they liked to solve mysteries, and they were the Harpy brothers, and they would. There was a whole series of books about that. I had a lot of fun with those. But I left all of those books at Bart's in my room. So when we go back, you can read some of them.
While he's discussing this with Treos, I'm going to kind of take a deep breath, because someone else has taken the responsibility inadvertently of watching Felix, and I'm going to look at Akka and be like, okay, who hired y'all, by the way? Do you know, or do I need to talk to her about that?
At this point, they have joined you, and you all kind of stand in this echoey cavern. Your voice comes out with a soft echo in the empty space. Akka just kind of shrugs and turns to the leader, and the leader clears her throat and blinks a little more haze. You see her slowly putting together the connections of what has clearly happened while she was unconscious, and at some point she just sighs, and we took a job. We're a mercenary troop. We take jobs. Our job was to guard this and keep the girl alive, and we've been here for 2 days? So.
Okay, 2 days. Number one, don't blame you. Gotta do what you gotta do for money. No, this is not a you are doing a bad thing type deal. You're just doing whatever you're gonna do. Well, it's just what it is. Okay. Who hired you?
She's staying stubbornly silent as she gives a quick pointed look towards the 2 dead bodies in the courtyard and the one further beyond in the gate.
Look, legitimately, we have no idea where we are. We have no idea what we're doing here. Okay, look, we're just here to find the girl. Okay, we did not want to attack. I had no idea that y'all were... We had no idea that y'all were here. We had no idea there was going to be a fight here. We did not come here with the intention to kill anybody.
I hear that and I hear you. But you did kill someone.
Well,
And there's no way.
It was mostly
I'm
the
going to
kid,
laugh.
and he did not realize what he was doing.
well,
So
actually, did you know that there was a chicken that existed that one time he lived for 18 whole months, and he didn't have his head. And so if we just get some healing really quick, I think that they could be okay.
With all due respect, if I never have to see any of you again, it will be too soon. Get the girl and get the fuck out.
okay, we're also trying to get you home. Okay, just also trying to learn as much as possible
We can
because
get home on our own. And
Okay.
Aga goes, we can?
okay, she sold you out right there. You cannot get home on your own. We're trying to help you. Like, I'm sorry for what we did. I'm sorry for what y'all did. But like, where we're at right now is where we're at. So, where is the girl in here? Is there anything creepy that we need to be on the lookout for?
We only stuck to the first floor.
And is the kid on the first floor?
No.
So you haven't seen the kid your entire time being here over the past. How is she still alive? Who is feeding her? You have left a kid
You've been
unattended
here
for 2 days with
for
no
2
food.
days.
How do you even know she's still alive?
Gosh, y'all are terrible mercenaries.
To be fair, the wizard would show up every day or so.
Who is the wizard? What does he look like? Or she?
Big, buff, tiefling, purple vest.
What was the description of Just
Yeah,
again?
it's just, isn't it?
That does sound quite familiar of a description.
Never heard of him in my life.
And then you said the kid's on the second floor.
Kids in the basement. We weren't allowed down there.
I don't know.
Do you think we would be allowed down there?
I'm gonna, before anyone responds, I'm gonna lean into the leader and be like, just say yes. Like, very quietly, just be like, just say yes, please. Look.
You know, I just think that it'd be such a shame if you went down there without untying your host.
Oh, that's
No,
rude of us.
Felix.
Felix.
He is a kid.
Well, we
You
could
cannot
we
talk
could
to
at
him
least
like that. He will believe anything you say.
we could at least loosen
like
the
8,
restraints because those
16.
probably
Look,
hurt.
Felix. I'm going to like grab him by the shoulder and pull him over to the corner. Okay, Felix. We are trying to be friends with them.
Uh-huh.
They are not trying to be friends with us. They don't like us.
Why?
Actually,
Because-
I don't hate you guys. If you let us out of here. This is
No,
Akka.
we're gonna get you out of here. We're going to get you out of here, Akka.
Thanks.
Okay, yeah, Akka's chill. I like her. Okay,
I do too.
so the one that's tied up, she does not like us. Akka likes us.
Have we tried talking to her?
Yes, you just did. Do you remember?
Well, yeah, but we haven't gotten to know them. That's how you make friends.
Yeah, but she look. I understand you're curious. You got to figure things out on your own, and you have every right to be curious and to like challenge everything that anybody ever tells you. But right now, I just need you. Look, it's been a day, Felix. I'm tired. I hurt all over my body. I just need you to take what I'm telling you at face value and just trust me, okay? Can you trust me and believe what I'm saying for 15 minutes? That's all I need. I need you to just do what I ask you and just trust me, okay?
I have trusted you since the moment we met.
And
I'm
I
gonna
love
try
that.
to walk
I
off
just
and try
need
and
you to
find
not
the kitchen.
You're gonna walk off and try and find the kitchen?
Yeah, they gave directions, general directions.
They said it's on the left.
Yeah,
There's a couple doors on the left.
to the left.
Which door are you going to?
The lefternmost door.
You might recall that they did say the third door on the left. However, you can go to the lefternmost door.
Oh, if I heard that specifically, I'd go there.
Okay. You go and you pick the third door on the left, and you try the handle, and it opens with a soft swing. You get the soft smell of breads and meats that all kind of have an old, dusty, stale stench to them. Nothing rotten, nothing past its prime, but it does. Everything in this dimension seems to be a little muted. The colors, the senses, the sounds, the smells. But you can make your way in, and you see what was once a large, almost industrial keep kitchen, along with crates of clearly temporary supplies stacked along the main center countertop.
Are there meats? Are there vegetables? Are there potatoes? Are there what are we working with?
There's a next to the countertop. There's a large bucket of potatoes. In the crates on the countertops, you can peek them open, and you see a couple of loaves of bread, a couple bags of what appear to be cheeses. Hanging from the ceiling are a couple of strips of beef jerky, but there's not a lot of meat in the way of meats here.
Can I attempt to make a stew based on what I can find here?
Do you have any liquid?
That's a great question. No, I don't.
You can attempt to make a stew. It will be a very dry stew.
Great. I'll use my proficiency with cook's utensils and begin preparing a meal.
All right. I would like you to roll a nature check, is what we're going to call cooking in this case.
What do I do with my cook's utensils?
Add your proficiency.
Cool. That's a nat 20. I'm not even kidding. Here's the picture for the
Yeah, as you step into this kitchen, the first thought on your mind is stew, but maybe it's the trauma of the last couple events, maybe it's the just overwhelm of the emotions that you've been going through, but your brain is so able to hyperfixate and see exactly what you need for a delicious roast. Now, it takes some finagling. It's mostly a vegetarian roast, but you're able to find a couple of potatoes. You're able to skin them, wrap them in some of the beef jerky. They're on the fire. You cover them in some vegetables. You find some spices in one of the other bins and are able to add some semblance of flavor. The rest of you, as you're in the hallway talking, you hear the clink and clank of pots and pans. A couple of muttered, sometimes you hear the little, staying alive, a little happier this time, but Felix shuffling around, and then the soft smell of a delicious feast reaches your nostrils.
I'm going to say, while this is happening, we probably would have continued our conversation without Felix.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. What are you saying?
We'll say, okay. Reese, you just want to take the rest of this.
You can go get a rest. Travis and we can handle this.
I'm gonna go start looking for the basement just so we can get that prepared.
Where is the basement? How do we get to the basement?
Go for it. Yeah, but I'm as like you are as well.
Aka just shrugs, and they go, "Don't look at me. I was on outside duty," and glares a little bit at Zaire.
Well, Zaire, how do we get to the basement?
She raises one eyebrow and jostles her hands behind her back, turns them to you.
But you're you're going up against the wrong guy. I've been told I'm pretty stubborn by multiple people, so you can keep jostling your restraints all you want. That's not going to change the fact that I am not untying you anytime soon.
Forget the basement then.
I don't know if you saw earlier, I threw a guy off the bridge. I am very willing to do that again.
I don't know if you saw earlier, but I also got knocked out, and I'm having a strange sense of memory loss.
You're funny. You're funny. You know that?
Well, Zaire, friend, you see, how I'm looking at the situation is that neither one of us benefits from being quiet. The longer we stay here, the longer we don't get paid, we don't figure out what's going on, and that there could be
You think we're
something
getting
much
after
worse
this?
in here. If we can't negotiate, or at least figure something out, it doesn't really help any of us here.
Do any of you have enough money to pay us out of here?
We might know a few hands that could help out.
500.
Mm, 350.
500. You see, I have 3 dead bodies out there, and I do need to pay their families.
We do have a bit of a travel fee just to get out of here.
We're the ones getting you out of here.
Is that so? Pray tell, how? A wizard?
Akka also looks at Zaire with an interested air of, how the heck are we gonna do that? But Zaire is staying silent. 500. And untie me.
I put it in a different light. You help us get out of here, and you walk free. Or we struggle our way out here with you in tow, and you wind up in a prison cell.
Roll
It's up to
intimidation
you.
for me.
Perfect. Give me a second. That's a D12. 15.
Yeah, at that you see a little bit of her facade crack. And she sighs again. Fine. Untie me and I'll tell you.
Tell us, and I'll untie you.
Through the courtyard. There's a tower. Go down the stairs.
I'm gonna, I guess I'll take my dagger then, and, cut her restraints loose.
You see as she shakes out her wrist and then moves to head back out into the main gate area. If we're done here,
How do we get back once we get the girl?
I was under the understanding you were getting us back.
I mean, this is our first time here, and you guys have been here for 2 days, so I think you know the area better than we do.
By that logic, it's our first time here too.
But what happened to the 2 days that you said you were here?
We were here for 2 days, we haven't left.
We've been here for 0 days, and we kind of stumbled our way in here, so
Then I guess we're all stuck together. Someone should go bring the girl some food.
Would I have found the entrance by this point?
Where were you going when you left? the...
So basically from the room, there was the exit back out to the gate.
Mhm.
There was the courtyard, and then was there like another?
There were 3 doors to the left, there was a dining room to the right, and then there was the courtyard ahead and the keep, like, entrance behind you.
I feel like I would have started in the dining room and then gone to the courtyard after that presented no avail.
You find very little in the dining room. There is a full room of furniture, but a lot of the chairs are broken and snapped, and on their sides, the table itself looks to be on its last legs. But you eventually make your way back through. As you see this negotiation process, you briefly acknowledge the bartering going back and forth, but make your way out into the courtyard. As you step out into the courtyard, you see a long, flat expanse of what looks to be some strange sort of grass. It's not quite green, but it's also not quite there. The color almost seems desaturated, and as you step into it, it actually makes zero sound. No rustling, no nothing. There's this eerie sense of quiet. Around you, the walls of the keep stretch towards a small 1-story tall tower at the very back of the courtyard. You see a door implanted into this little tower.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the door and try and open it very quietly.
You go to open the door and it sticks and it's locked.
Okay, I'm going to go back to the discussion, which I assume that they're done by now. It's like, is there a key? Oh, she's untied now.
You actually see she's walking her way. She's backing slowly out the doorway.
Is there a key?
No.
Okay.
We weren't really allowed to go back that far. Our job was to stop people at the gate, not to stop people from going further.
Okay. I'm gonna go try and break down the door.
All right. What are the rest of y'all doing? While Ty goes to break down the door.
I'm gonna go with him. I assume Felix is either done or wrapping up his meal.
I don't know. I'm making a roast. That might take a while.
To be fair, roasts do take a while, but for most of the time they're in the oven. You've found the oven, you've been able to light it. At this point, you have gotten this vegetable roast into the oven. And hopefully you'll know when to take it out. Hopefully you'll remember to take it out when you take it out.
I'm great at that.
You are great at that. But you do see through the window the blown out glass, what used to be glass windows of the kitchen. You see your friends make their way across the courtyard towards a little tower in the back. Treos,
Cool.
Are you going with them?
I kind of just shout out to Felix before walking off to the other courtyard that we're on our way to the tower. You might want to bring a bowl or two with you.
Well, it's still in the oven, so
Tell him to grab a tell him to grab a loaf of bread.
Grab a loaf of bread.
okay. Well, I used a lot of bread in this roast somehow.
It
It could just be like a beef Wellington.
I wanted to make like a breadcrumb thing. And well, most of the breadcrumbs are on the floor now because I dropped them, but but the rest of the bread is, well, it's crumbs.
I'm sure it tastes fine. Meet us in the courtyard when you're done.
What is Akka doing? Akka
is at first loiters in the hallway, a little unsure what to do. But after one last glance at you all, they do make their way back out into the main castle keep. And you actually see, as you step out into the courtyard, if you do cast a glance backwards, you see as they've started sort of dragging the bodies into a small pile in one of the corners.
I want to say to them before we head off, I know you've got a lot on your plate, and we just went through a lot. Can you make sure that his roast doesn't burn down the building? Like, I don't know how long a roast takes, but can you take it out in a little bit to make sure, like, it's not on fire? I don't want...
It is it is a stone building.
Yeah,
But I did see what he
smoke,
did to me out there, so
inhalation,
yeah, I'll
fire.
double check.
Yeah. Thanks. I just don't want it to like catch fire or anything.
Yeah.
All
Only
right.
if I get some though.
Yeah, just take some for us.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go try and break down the door.
Oh.
You're gonna try and break down the door?
I would.
All right,
Yep.
roll to attack.
Yeah. So I guess I'm using my great axe. That is a 17.
I mean, that'll hit. Roll your damage.
Okay. Five.
As you take your great axe to the door, it sticks, and you're able to almost wiggle it between two of the cracks. The door doesn't quite break down as it wedges in between two of the wood slats, but it is. You feel it wobble a little as you pull your axe out. Are you trying again? Are any of the rest of you doing something to the door?
Any other ideas before I?
Before Kai would even make a swing, I would have tried, like try to suggest lock picking it, but the action immediately hits the door, and at that point, I just back away.
Sorry, you were saying, Travis?
No, do your thing. Just give him a little thumbs up.
Okay. Cool. I'll make another attack.
Yeah, go for it.
8.
It's gonna hit. It is a door. Roll damage. As long as you didn't roll like a nat 1, you were gonna hit the door.
That was a nat 3, so.
Jeez.
6.
Yeah, as you carve into it again, this time you're able to yank out a large slab of the wood, and from like chin height up, there's a long hole in the door. If you look in, you can see through the small slat of light, you see stairs going both up and down. Are you gonna try again?
Yes.
Go for it.
Okay, 21.
Roll your damage.
12 points.
Nice. At that point, as you pull back the great axe again and slam it into the door, this point the hinges actually rattle, and then you're able to pull, and they just pop off. You pull out your axe, and there's a long plank of wood sticking out of it, but the door is open.
All right. She's in the basement. We can check out upstairs afterwards.
Reese is gonna look around the courtyard. Where's Felix?
Oh, he's not there. He's not with you.
I don't remember him saying he was coming to the courtyard.
You still hear a slight rattling of the pots and pans and a soft humming. You see a figure pass by the windows of presumably what is the kitchen. But no, Felix is not there.
Sucks to lose
For the
nose
sake of
goes,
viewers,
huh?
they are playing nose goes right now.
Is this nose goes to lead down the stairs?
No, to go
or
get
to
Felix.
go Felix?
This nose goes to go get Felix.
Yeah, I figured.
Listen, I did my part. I did my part.
Hey, I got you tonight.
Hey,
You got me tonight.
We'll share a room. Me and him. Me and
Whoa.
me and Felix will have a sleepover tonight. We'll hang out tonight. We'll be buddies.
I don't know if I like the sound of that.
Well, you were presumably older than me, and you were willingly buying him a room.
But the way you said we're gonna have a sleepover tonight.
Yeah, I don't know how to phrase it. How do you phrase you're hanging out with a 12-year-old? How do you
I
base
think he's
that
a little
in,
bit
like,
older than 12.
I don't know how old he is, dude. I don't know how old kids are.
How old do you think I am?
How old does he look?
Like young 20s.
I don't know, like 35.
Okay. Like
I'm really,
you can
dude,
see like
I'm
that
really
kind of
bad
like
with
hurt like
ages.
that hurt
Sorry,
guy's pride a little bit. Like, okay, yeah, I'll just go get him.
I'm really bad with ages,
I'll
man.
just go
I'm
get him.
sorry.
I'll just go get him. I'll just go get him.
No,
I'm
wait.
gonna.
Kai, Reese, listen, today has been long enough. I think it's still today. How about we just go meet up with Felix, have a nice little meal, and just rest for a little bit, okay?
No,
But there's a kid tied up
Right,
down there.
right. Felix is almost done cooking. We just eat a bowl. We grab a bowl with us, and we can meet with the kid.
He's
make
making
sure
a-
she's
There
good.
is a
roast,
kid tied
isn't
up
he?
down there, and
How
you
long
want
does a
to
roast
eat.
take to make?
Maybe like a few minutes.
A couple hours. Never like, had like a good like roast on a Sunday afternoon.
No.
The fire's pretty hot. I doubt it's gonna take that long.
Yeah, but I mean, like, still, like, it's a roast. It's not just like you're like cooking like a piece of bacon or something. Like, it's a roast. It's a full piece of meat. You gotta let it.
I'm with Ty on this one. I think it's gonna take longer than a couple of minutes. Like, I think we have more pressing
you
matters
were
at
just
hand
saying
than
you didn't
waiting
even
for a
know.
roast.
You were just saying you didn't even know like the proper etiquette of roast. Like, you never really had.
But I imagine like the word roast implies that it takes a while to cook.
Look. Okay. Look. I'm just gonna go get Felix. We'll eat afterwards.
As soon as Kai walks away, I'm gonna turn to Travis. I feel like I really hurt his feelings.
It's kind of an easy thing to do.
Yeah, I noticed that he seems really sensitive.
We'll talk it out later.
Yeah.
So,
Hi, you make your way back towards the kitchen.
Do I pass Aka? Is she still there?
They're out in the courtyard piling the bodies that
Okay.
were killed.
Okay, I'm gonna walk into the kitchen, like do like a knock.
You don't get a response.
But you do
On
hear
the knock.
clink, clink, clink.
No. There is no noise.
Never mind, there is no noise.
Did you close the door? I was like knocking on like an open door.
I will say you don't immediately see him.
Felix, are you in your bottle? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Are you in your bottle?
No, you see him sitting crisscrossed on the floor, staring at the fire that is currently cooking the roast.
Okay. Yeah. Look, I said we would do this tonight. I guess we're doing it right now. Okay. So Felix, you remember when I talked to you before? We walked up to the gate and I said, "Hey, I need to know that you can defend yourself."
Yeah, and then I told you that I wouldn't hurt anyone, because that's me.
Yeah, no, it is, but so life is interesting. There are things you can control and there are things you can't control. And you're a pretty smart science guy. You said your dad teaches at a university. You obviously know your way around potions. I'll be honest, I think like I couldn't begin to understand that stuff. You're a smart guy. And so I imagine you like to control a lot of things.
It's really easy if you think about it, because then you put this together and that together, and then you can kind of make whatever you want.
So you exactly, you can control what you make. There's
Yeah.
a lot of things in life you cannot control. One of the things you can't control is other people.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't ever want to control anyone, because that would be wrong, because it would be mean to make them do things that they don't want to do. You have to make sure that everybody gets to do what they want to do. Like, I don't think
Exactly.
it's very nice that we tied up those people, even though they didn't, they just didn't know what they were doing, right? They just made a mistake. But we have to make sure that we forgive people who make mistakes.
But some people want to make mistakes. And that's one of the things you can't control is
Why would
what
anyone
people
want to
do
make
to
a
you.
mistake?
It's a confusing thing, but some people take advantage of other people, some people hurt other people. Like
Well,
Savva,
yeah, of course.
Who we're trying to find, is a kid.
Yeah,
She's younger than you are,
yeah,
and she's been taken away from her family.
yeah.
And somebody did that. Somebody purposefully, intentionally did that.
I wonder why. There's probably
I
a
do.
reason, right? Because
Yeah,
because you have to. What if they don't? What if they thought that Saba didn't have any family and they were just trying to be there for her?
Savva did have family. She had parents. She had, I don't know if she had siblings, but she had a family. Someone kidnapped her and did something bad. And we
What if
don't
he
know
didn't know
why
it was bad?
they did.
How do we know?
Because to take someone and put them here in this place, they have to know what they're doing. And Felix, there will be people who will try and hurt you. And what you did was defend yourself.
No, I made a mistake. I was trying to heal you because you got a little hurt, and then I accidentally threw the bottle.
Yeah. But I want you to know, if you didn't do that, they would have hurt you. They did hurt you.
But they're sorry about it.
They are now. But
Right. Because we talked to them. We have to go talk to this guy.
if we had not beaten them, they would not have been sorry.
It's not fun to hurt people.
It's not. And we don't look to hurt people. We look to defend and to help others.
Yeah.
So the rest of us, we're going to go downstairs and find Savva right now, and we'll come back and eat this whole roast together, and we'll share it with Akka and Zaire, whatever her name was, and we'll see if Hutch is
they're our
around.
friends now.
I wouldn't say that they're our friends, but they are people that we care about.
Right. That's friends.
I think it takes a little bit more to call someone a friend.
Well, you guys are my friends,
I know.
and so are they.
But you are not their friend yet.
And so's Kara. And we came here without Kara, even though Kara wanted to see this place.
Yeah, I don't understand that one, but I was trusting Reese on that one. So
I was gonna. I should have said something.
You
But
should
I
have,
saw that
but-
he had the necklace. I knew where it was. You had it.
yes, and I was doing a favor for a friend, Reese. Even though I knew it was bad. There I made a mistake.
You should
So-
you should apologize to Kara when we get back.
I will. Don't worry, I will.
Okay.
You want to come to the basement with us? And we'll come back and eat all this?
Okay, but we have to be quick.
Okay, we'll be really quick.
For reference, I'm on 1 hit point. Let's go.
Alright. As you finish this conversation and slowly push to your feet and help Felix to his feet, you make your way back out in the courtyard. Reese and Treos, were you two just waiting while this conversation happened?
While the conversation was happening, I would just been trying to pester Reese and kind of go back and forth about who's going first down the stairs.
Between us?
Yeah, between us, like just back and forth, like, so after you.
Well, let's wait for Kai and Felix.
Right, but you heard Kai. Time is of the essence. We can't keep her waiting.
Yeah, but we don't want to leave without them, because, like, what if there's something really dangerous down there? Like, I saw you fighting back there. I don't know if I can handle it on my own.
Yeah, I don't think I'm in the best condition right now to do that too.
I do appreciate the help, the occasional help,
What
the supporting words.
yes, it
At this
all
point,
that could help.
Yeah,
you see Kai and Felix emerge from the building, and they make their way over towards you.
I don't even
Felix
stop. I
is-
just start walking down the stairs.
Felix's
Oh,
right
okay.
hand is clasped as he gets up to Reese. He's gonna go, "Hey Reese,
Hey,
I got something for you.
hey,
Here you go." And he's
what,
gonna hold out
what
his
is,
hand to you.
what is it?
Are you going to accept it?
Reluctantly, yes. What is
A
it?
pile of breadcrumbs that are slightly mixed with dirt because they were on the ground, have now spilled into your hand. He said that was fine. So I figured we were good.
Were there
to
any
go, but you
loaves
wanted
left,
bread.
or is it just the crumbs?
Well, these are the ones that fell on the ground. I didn't get. There's more crumbs in the kitchen if you want more.
Were there bread loaves left? Like, was there a loaf of bread?
There were loaves of bread. Yes.
Okay, well,
I
just
used
don't
them.
worry about. Yeah, I'm gonna w- I get I'm gonna walk down after Kai, and whenever I round the corner out of sight from Felix, I'm gonna I guess I'll just put them in my pocket for now. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with them. I'll figure
All right.
something out.
You step down into this darkened, twisting stone staircase, your footsteps echoing softly. You hear Kai a couple of stairs down below you, and you are able to. It's a little hard because some of it falls to the ground, but you get a couple crumbs into your pocket for later. At this point, if the rest of you follow those two down into the spiraled staircase, you walk and you go and you go and you go. It seems like you've been traveling for far too long at this point, but eventually, Kai, you're in the front. You see almost an ethereal glow. You're not quite sure where it's coming from. You're technically below, deep underground, and there's no torches on the walls, but you can still see in front of you. It's a soft little purple, almost pulsing. And the pulsing gets bigger and bigger and brighter as you eventually come up at the end of the stairs, and you see a small wooden doorway. With a door in it, I should specify.
I'm gonna wait for everybody to get down and say, "All right, she's down here, and we don't know what else is. So be prepared to defend ourselves again." And I'm gonna sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna give a nod to Treos and to Reese, wait for like a nod of acknowledgement back, and then open the door when we're ready.
All right. You place your hand on the door, expecting to find it locked, but the knob actually turns easily, and the door slowly swings inward. And as you step in, you just hear a little voice go, "Uncle, yes, is that you?" And at that point, we are going to pick it up next session.